And welcome back, Firewood addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today, we're going to check out my Woodyard for an update. Let's do it. So, from the previous episode, I will show you how much wood we got from that truckload. You may be surprised, so stick around. But for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you, just to give you an update, the yard, or if you're new to the channel, how the whole feng shui or design of the wood yard is, so you're aware. So here we go. I built this long string of shelters on the back side of my property several years ago, and as I would store wood in each bay, I would grow it. I would go to the east, right? But then I figured out quickly that because I have this canopy behind me, there's no sunlight and there's less airflow. So I use the west part of the shelter less so than the east part, because it's more open here, whereas back here it's more dense. But you can see back here, let's go to the far west part of it. This used to be where I had a bunch of pine that did not season, and in fact it molded. So I had to take the pine out, put it out in the open in my yard, let the sun beat on it for summer, and then I sold it. So that the store here. So right now this is storing cedar. So I have some cedar, small pieces that I'll sell for kindlings, small little chunks that are cedar chunks but not big chunks. So I divide my cedar chunks into large and small. Small I'll sell as kindling, and big I'll sell as chunks. I also have some cedar TNG tongue and groove planks, boards here that I got from a house that I helped demo with my dad. And I was gonna sell these as kindling. I may also do that, but I think I'm gonna split them down. But right now there's nails in it, and they're full-length boards, or they're all banged up. So that's another episode of me getting those cut down to size, and then splitting them perhaps with my splitter. So yeah, next bay down is just a bunch of like random pieces of wood that I can use to build my shelters. All my shelters are made from sustainable sources. It's a reclaimed lumber, pallets, or there's a cabinet shop right next door to me-ish, up the road, and I get scraps from them sometimes. So I store it in here so it's dry, and then when I need it, I pick it up and I make stuff with it. So here is in this bay, drying cedar. They're not slabs, but they're chunks, but they're split in a way that I can make cedar kindling with them. These pieces are more or less clear, no knots. The ones that have knots I make into firewood. But so this here is seasoning to be split down to kindling soon. This a wheelbarrow of fir with small pieces that I'll use for kindling for my own wood stove. But this in here just kind of hanging out. This bay is cedar firewood. Here, several rows deep, different types, and then I guess there's some cypress in here that was mislabeled as cedar because it has a similar smell and look and burn quality. So here is cedar firewood. I've kind of picked through some of it already. The front is from my cedar guy, or the top part is the other part. So I always have abundance of cedar on me because no one really wants cedar because it burns so quickly. So move through here. I got my trusted Timber Champ kinetic splitter. You've seen that in a few videos, but that's what I use to make my premium kindling. So there's that. Next door we got some premium hardwood maple that is gonna be for me, but I have sold some of it before, hence this little gap. But then I went in here, and before you saw some mold, so hopefully I've opened up the back a little bit more so this will have more airflow with it. So hopefully it will dry and dry well soon. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is the stacks, or the tossed in cedar chunks that I just got done doing. This is full, so hopefully this will dry out for the fall so I can sell a much more totes of the cedar chunks. Next bay here is my production and staging area for my firewood and kindling bundles. This is my jig right here that I built. I think I've had this on the channel before. I didn't show really how I made it. If you want an episode of this jig, let me know and I'll go through like how I made it and the design, whatever. But yeah, have my pile of cedar kindling here ready to be bundled, both premium and non-premium cedar kindling. And then the back row here is just the balance of the 2 cords that I bought, and I didn't have any more room, so I put it in here to still dry. So what I end up doing in this area here, this space right here, is I'll take from the Woodyard and where the bundled wood is, and I'll take a wheelbarrow of each species that is dry, and I'll stack it here, and then I'll take a handful or like two or three pieces from each pile, and then I'll put them in the bundler to bundle. So that's how I do the process. It's not very time efficient. That's how I do it. So in this bay I had my mixed hardwood for my personal use here. It was a mix of like cherry and other wood, and now that it's done with winter, I have burned everything that was in here. I mean, it wasn't chocked full, but it was full enough. I don't know how many cords it was in here at the time, but now it's empty. So now I have dry cedar chunks that I can sell the 1 garbage bin worth. This is some cherry scraps that someone pinged me about that wanted to buy it for their solo stove, but then never got back to me. So maybe I need to reach out to them again. But I figure I would cut these up real quick and then sell them as like mini Mesa solo stove wood, because it's decent wood. There's some other cherry in here too, I believe, but on top here is the apple wood that I got. I don't know if did I tell you about the apple wood? Maybe I didn't. So I went to a neighbor in my hometown, and he had like one branch that he cut down himself, and it was apple. So it was on Craigslist. He posted on Craigslist. I pinged him right away when I got the notice, and he responded saying, "Come now." I went there and I got it, and got talking with him. He has a few apple trees in his yard he doesn't want anymore, and he may give it to me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. In this section here on the ground or on pallets is the wood here that I believe is alder wood that we got from my backyard that needs to be split. I'll add that to the mixed softwood soon. But yeah, the apple wood, I'll get that split up soon, and then I'll tell you what we'll do with that, with the apple wood. So there's some chunks in here that I'll add to my personal chunk cookie bin, which I'll show you in a second. But the bigger pieces that are at 16 or larger, I gotta have an idea for that one. So yeah, so stay tuned. Oh yeah, here's the cherry. Yeah, so the other cherry pieces are here that I got from another neighbor. I'll get these cut up, set up. I may use that with the apple wood that I have. But this area here was jam-packed, chock full of my premium maple that I got several years ago. That's the episode that I traded several cords of premium maple for a half gallon of whiskey. So check out that video. That is a pretty cool story. But now it's empty, so now I need to replenish and get more hardwood or maple. So yeah, it is what it is in terms of firewood. This is my cookie bin scrap, mostly stuff that I don't feel comfortable selling, like some rotted pieces, too gnarly. I do have a market for smaller cookie cut off pieces, but this is going to be burned probably for my personal use, or if I have someone who really wants it, I may sell it, but have to pick through it to make sure that they're not getting anything that's rotten or whatever, or tell them that you may get a few pieces. So that's what you do. You have to be transparent. This section here is empty, unfortunately. Empty. This is just for toys. It's tarped off, but nothing inside. Before this held cedar chunks, and before this held cookies as well that I burned through. now it's empty. So now it's time to replenish it. It's time to add more wood. So I'm trying to get inventory, process it, and get it stacked or piled or whatever I can do. I just need to get it in the yard and seasoning. This is why this big push of trying to go to places and get wood that are close by and bring it back. And yeah, you all know the game too. So this was cedar, I think firewood that is now depleted, gone, sold. This down here, you can kind of see it, is cedar slabs that are it's pieces that I can split down to make kindling. It's the season, ready to go. I just need to split it. So when I need this bay for space, when I have more inventory, I may take some time to split this up and then stack it where you saw where the bundles are, and then so this will be available for other wood. I probably ended up with this row here making go higher, kind of like that one over there, but for now it's at like a 4-ish high height. So we'll come back to the other one in a second. The yard's a mess. There's only so many hours in a day, almost so wood that you can process or split, whatever. Yeah. So this is the cottonwood that we got from the first place that that you saw. I'll leave a link up below if you're interested. But this is all the cottonwood that I got from that one, which isn't too bad, and hopefully it's in the sun enough to season quickly. But I know this may take some time. So I'm thinking about utilizing this area for firewood, but we do have this maple like right above me, so I may cut that branch off so to add more light in this area. I don't know, we'll see. But then if I add something here, is having access, how do I access it? The only way I can do that would be having to go back around here, and I can't get a trailer or a truck in here, so I'd have to like ferry wood from this location here all the way over there. So I'm not sure if this area here, this corner, is a good spot or not for stacking firewood. But yeah, so let's go back over here and I'll show you this middle section. Oh yeah, so we got some cedar rounds. I believe it's cedar, and then probably some more older from another neighbor. So randomly, I need to get this split up soon. It's good to have inventory, and then take the time to process it and get it piled or get it stacked so it's seasoning. It doesn't do any good within a pile on split. So we all need to get the splitting, right? This is some maple that I got from a neighbor of mine down the road. Hopefully good for personal use in the fall, winter. But you see the section here, I've already started to saw some of it. So yeah, my sauna guy wanted some more maple, so I tested this. It was good enough, so he's happy, I'm happy, and is what it is. You need to be able to be willing to sell some of your personal stuff, which is what I am learning about my Woodyard. The balance of the maple that did not fit in this section, so it's half covered, half not. So I will continue this roof line at some point here, but for now it's just uncovered, at least for now, because it's now spring. There should be more sun versus rain, but we'll see. I mean, in my area we do get a lot of rain, being in the Seattle area. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is gonna be, what was this? I think this is spruce and pine mix, both sections that I got from Tree Service, split for bundles and rack wood. So that's like 2 or 3 rows deep in here, to get that all seasoned, ready to go. This is my bonfire rack that you saw in my bonfire episode, like last week or so. And yeah, so this is good to have bonfire wood, that seasoning for my bonfire racks. So this space between this section here and this, I can back a trailer in here and access wood on both sides, which is nice. So I have space in here, but having to organize it with the roof line is kind of difficult. But this section here is 2 cords that I bought. You saw the episode. I had to buy inventory. Yeah, sometimes you have to buy inventory to make sure that people who come to you for firewood, they come to you, and the one day that you don't have wood that's dry enough for them, they're gonna go someplace else and not call you back again. Perhaps it happens. It could happen. So you want to have inventory on you at all times that is ready to go, seasoned, and ready to buy. So yes, I bought firewood. So we have a row of bundlewood, a row of rackwood in the middle, and the far side I have some bonfire wood that are larger chunk pieces. They're not necessarily long, but just split. Large and in charge.
Is this queer? They're large and in charge and looking for chickies.
And then this was spruce, and off other species, but now that's all sold or burned, and now this is my new bonfire rack section for longer pieces, and these are some big mamma jammas here. Definitely some big pieces. So get these seasoned, get them dried out, ready to go for the bonfire racks, for people who can have them for the larger stoves or outside for campfires. All right, so we're hoping I'm getting dizzy from the yard and my camera, but we're gonna go into this part here, but I'm gonna walk around this middle section. So I think this is like my cedar area. I guess I would call it my cedar area, but yeah, let's start on this end first. But this is, get out of here, tote. This is as well similar to across the way cedar pieces for kindling. This is seasoned, it's ready to be split, so that's pretty much chocked full. So I'll get this one next, one in piles, and broke it down so I can fix this area here and then get that area split when I need. I usually split my kindling for kindling when there's a need for, when I need bundles. I don't want to split a whole bunch and then, because I don't sell kindling bundles very fast very often. It all depends, so I split them to kindling size as needed. So this section here is empty. This, I believe, had cedar firewood in it, I think, but now it's empty. Then we have two sections of cedar chunks. One is full, one is almost full. So this is from two loads, two previous loads of cedar chunks, and then the other section. So I definitely have cedar chunks coming out of my ears, which is totally fine because it will sell. It will definitely sell. So money in the bank for here. This is fir and other wood, small pieces to sell. So this stuff that is not too wonky, no rot, but this type of stuff did sell this past fall, winter, and although I mean, yes, I could burn this myself, but there's a market for it. So if I try to sell what I can. So yeah, cedar section here, so that matches with the cedar. This section here was all hemlock. You saw the episode with all the hemlock. That load of hemlock it was tree service wood. It was the first time that I got some tree service wood from this one guy, and a lot of it was like this, straight grain pieces. I almost did not even need the splitter. I didn't realize it then that I could have used an axe. There's a lot of straight grain, not a lot of knots in that wood. It was great wood, and it seasoned perfectly. And this whole section here was all hemlock. Half of it was for rackwood, other half was for bundles, and I've gone through a lot of it. It's almost gone, almost empty here, and I'm sad to see it go, but I hope to get another load of wood like that very, very soon. So yeah, that was great. I'm gonna walk through the section here that's empty. This is my experiment stack. It's actually, I need to fix it. It's actually bowing this way, this stack right here. But this is my experiment of having things that are, it's half covered, half not. So I'm going to see if this wood will actual seasoning. This is not very good wood. It's older wood down below, and wood that I don't feel comfortable selling, or it's good wood that I want to keep and sell for myself, basically. So this is my personal section that will hopefully start burning possibly in the fall. This wood, this whole row here, I've used the ICB bladders and cut them to make a roof. Now, you saw the episode. I thought it was an awesome idea, but I need to add one more layer of bladder and make it so there's more overhang. So I have one ready to go. It's all cut. Just having to refurbish it to make it work in this section. So stay tuned for that episode, but that'll be hopefully soon. So this wood stays dry. That's the thing. It could season and be dried out, but it has to stay dry. You don't want seasoned wood to get wet again and then stay wet, because it's constantly rained on. At least in my area. At least in my area. So now we're coming to the last part, I guess, section. This is my default. In our cedar section here, we have some cedar from a cedar guy, and then in the back some other random pieces of cedar that I need to stack. So any other cedar that's firewood wise is gonna go here. Next section is seasoned fir, I believe, down there, and the other pieces. But this is almost empty, so now I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. But for now, it's holding some cedar blocks I need to split up with the splitter that I couldn't do by hand when I had the last round of cedar chunks for my cedar guy. This section here is 2 rows deep of wood from the tree service company that I have frequented now twice. This is the wood I got. This is all softwood here, 2 rows, and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Some knotty wood in there, yeah, but some straight grain, good enough for bundle wood, good enough for rack wood. And the cool thing about this is mixed. This is all mixed wood. Usually when I get a load, it's of a species. So I tend to separate it by species, so I know when it was cut down and then split and processed and stacked. So I kind of gauge when it's going to be ready to sell, ready to burn. This, I don't know when it was cut down or when it was bucked up, but I know when it was split. So there may be varying dry times on each one of these pieces based on species. But the cool part is it's not separated. I don't need to separate it when I'm doing bundles. I can just grab from here, put a wheelbarrow, or straight go from here to the bundler. Any pieces of this could go in the bundler is fine, because in my bundles and in my racks, it's all mixed wood. It's not one species. So with this, I can just mix this, take this directly from here to the bundler to the firewood stand, or directly from here to the firewood stand. Count 30 pieces, done. Not having to go to one stack to the next stack to the next stack to get 10, 10, 10 equals 30 per rack. So that's the good part about this, and I'm hoping that so I left in the middle, I left one little gap there, space for airflow, hoping this will dry sooner or later. You're getting this western sun, and it just beats on this edge. And it last time I was here when it was full, it was this nice gray color, and it was so beautiful. With this roof, definitely a hodgepodge, definitely makeshift. I mean, is what it is when you're not trying to save money and not spend money on materials. I had this tarp that is connected here, and that I will fold over this stack. When it's gonna rain, I just roll over the tarp, so this will stay dry, will keep dry. And when it's sunny like this, I roll it back over, and so this will get sun as much as possible. So it's time consuming. It's not that innovative, but it is kind of nice to make sure that this gets airflow, this part gets sun. So that's that. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know if any of you have done that with your wood, where you take a covering on and off based on if it's sunny or not. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna try it. I'm going to try it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I guess the last little bit of the Woodyard is these pieces of cedar cut off chunks that I need to deal with that you saw in the last episode or so. Yeah, it's wood, it's stacked, but it's not processed. It's not cut yet. So it's here. I need to deal with it, but I'm not too concerned because I have plenty of other cedar that is currently drying. So yeah. So the point of this video, or this episode, was to show you how much we got from the previous episode of when I stacked the wood in my truck without a tote. It was just kind of held in with 2 pallets. We wanted to know how much was in there, so I stacked it. I didn't need to, but I stacked it just for the purpose of showing you how much was in there. Here it is. This is the wood. You may have saw this in the background when I was walking around the yard just now. Throw over these pallets. But here is the tote. So this tote is 46 by 30 by 36. So it's full. I mean, yes, there's some gaps in the middle. That's the middle here. But and then if you take this, heap that portion, and put that in here, it would more or less be flush. So what are we calling this? Are we calling this a third of a cord? Are we calling it shy of a third of a cord? I don't know. I guess we could all agree it may be roughly a third of a cord. Roughly a face cord of wood. Go with that? Are you okay with that? Maybe? Yes, no? You let me know in the comments. Anyway, so it's more or less the same, if not less, than stacking the wood in my truck with a tote. So if I would buy the tote, I would have gotten more wood, is my point, at least for that experiment. Because the wood that I brought home the last time, that was definitely heaped, and some of the bigger chunks too. So, and it was full, and in the episode you saw that it was full, right? So what is better? What is better if I'm gonna haul my splitter to on location? Do I stack it in my truck with just the pallets and then cover it and strap it down, or do I bring an empty IPC tote with me and stack it in there? Obviously, I want to get as much wood in my truck as possible, so it is worth my time doing so. I'm leaning towards not bringing my splitter, bringing the utility trailer that they have access to, and bring rounds or bringing quartered chunks in the trailer home, and then from there split them down and stack them. So not having to stack twice, because the name of the game is last touching of the firewood. That's the name of the game, to make sure that you can, in time with the calculations, it saves you time, which means it equals more money if you're selling firewood. So, but that's just my opinion. So that's the wood that we got from that load. Not too shabby. We'll see if I can get back there again. That maybe into May that I can get back there. I don't know. We'll see. But you may be coming along for that one too, if you want to. If you found the episode interesting and the series of how much to stock in the truck, let me know. I thought it was kind of cool just to try it out, to be on site with the splitter. I thought would be different. So now that I've tried it, let's kind of chew on that for a bit and see if that is worth our time. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Rock and roll. Keep safe and keep cutting. Cheers.